Why did ancient yogis obsess over a single number again and again? 108 beats, 108 breaths, 108 steps, 108 names of the divine. This was not numerology. This was not superstition. It was something far more precise and far more dangerous to misunderstand. Stay with me till the end of this video, because once you see why 108 appears everywhere in yogic science, you'll realize it was never a belief system. It was a code written into the human body and the cosmos itself. Numbers were never abstract to yogis. Modern science treats numbers as symbols. Ancient yogis treated numbers as experiences. To them, numbers weren't invented by humans. They were discovered through inner perception. When yogis sat in deep meditation, observing breath, heartbeat, planetary cycles, and bodily rhythms, they noticed patterns repeating again and again. One number appeared with frightening consistency, not because they wanted it to, but because the body revealed it. In yogic anatomy, the human system is said to have 114 energy centers, but only 108 of them are considered active and accessible in an average human being. The remaining 6 operate beyond physical perception. This is why malas have 108 beats, not for counting, but for alignment. Each repetition was meant to touch one energy junction, one subtle doorway inside you. When all 108 were activated, the yogi said the system became complete. In Mystic Musings, Sadhguru offers a quiet but unsettling insight. Numbers are not inventions of the mind. They are the fundamental geometry of existence. He explains that yogis didn't choose 108. They arrived at it through direct observation of life. The body, the breath, the planet, the cosmos all spoke the same mathematical language. Here's where it gets uncomfortable for modern thinking. The distance between the Earth and Sun is approximately 108 times the Sun's diameter. The distance between the Earth and the Moon is roughly 108 times the Moon's diameter. This creates perfect visual harmony, which is why the Sun and Moon appears the same size from Earth. Yogis noticed this long before telescopes existed. They understood that the human body was not separate from these ratios. It was built on the same design. An average human takes about 21,600 breaths per day. Divide that by 2, inhalation and exhalation, and you get 10,800 cycles. Remove the 0. Yogis realized that if the breath could be slowed and refined to align consciously with the cycle, the mind could dissolve its boundaries. Breath was not survival. Breath was a gateway. When yogis chanted mantras 108 times, it wasn't devotion, it was calibration. Sound, repetition, and number were synchronized to reshape the nervous system. Every repetition nudged the mind slightly closer to stillness. Miss the number and the effect weakened. Overshoot it and the system destabilized. This is why these practices were never casual. Today, people chant 108 times because someone told them to. Ancient yogis did it because they knew what it unlocked. Sadhguru once warned that sacred numbers were never meant to be decorative. They were precise instruments. Without understanding, repetition becomes noise. With awareness, it becomes transformation. Why 108 appears in temple design? Many ancient temples have 108 steps, are aligned to 108 angles, or contain 108 lamps. Not for beauty, but because when the body moves through these proportions, the mind naturally slows down. Architecture was psychology. Stone was consciousness engineering. Yogis weren't obsessed with 108. They were obsessed with liberation. 108 just happened to be the key that fit the human lock. It wasn't sacred because tradition said so. It was sacred because it worked again and again, across centuries, across bodies. If this video changed the way you look at numbers, share it with someone who thinks spirituality is just belief. There's a science hidden in plain sight, and we have barely scratched it. Like this video if it resonated. Subscribe for more deep dives into mystic musings, yogic science, and the unseen architecture of human consciousness. Stay curious, stay aware, and remember, existence is counting you, even when you're not counting it.